Not too bad. I was close enough. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you two methods of re-entry into a planet. One is going to be the normal re-entry, one is going to be with a tail sit. We're taking 2,370 tons, as you can see right there. So this is a fairly heavy ship, and these same methods will work with a light ship as well. Okay? The reason I'm making this video is I have recently seen a couple of other re-entry videos. I saw one that was called an advanced re-entry, and it was using kind of a tail sit turn and burn method. However, they didn't really show the advanced techniques or the actual way you should be using the turn and burn re-entry. So we're going to do two re-entries. The first one is going to be the normal efficient method, which is just going to be using your wings, pitching down, and letting your wings kind of do the work. And then the second one is going to be the tail sit re-entry, which is fun, and if you build a ship that's designed for it, it's you know, it's cool, but it's just not very fuel efficient at all. It's definitely better to use just your wings and momentum to bring you into a planet. All right, so let's head on over to Sanctuary. I'm going to fast forward this real quick, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're getting closer to the moon here. So what I want to do is just make sure my trajectory is aligned to my target, at least above it. I like to come into planets at an angle to where my trajectory goes past the planet. And this is because if you're coming in too fast or you weren't paying attention and you're braking too late, I can burn 90 degrees away from the planet, and it'll make sure that my trajectory stays out of the atmosphere so I don't burn up. And so if you need to abort, you can just go past the planet. You won't die. You can of course always just log off to stop your ship in that case, but eventually that's going to be fixed. So you want to know how to avoid that altogether in the first place. All right, so we've aligned up our trajectory fairly close. It's not exact, but that's fine. We're coming into the planet here. Now I actually did overshoot this a little bit, obviously because I am fairly heavy. I'm going to kind of go a bit past my target. And now this is fine because my trajectory was above the planet in the first place and not straight into it. So I can just use my thrusters to help brake a little bit quicker so that I don't overshoot too far. So it's not, it's not a real big deal. And I have plenty of altitude to where I'm not going to burn up before I get down to speed. And then I'll just turn around and head back. So stopped my ship. And then I'll just flip it around and fly back to my target. So I'm just going to pitch down a bit and start getting forward momentum so that as soon as I am in the atmosphere, my wings will start to do the work, so I don't need all the thrust. My wings will pick me up and stop my descent. And there you go. So there's the basic efficient reentry with a bad example of overshooting and how to avoid burning up when that happens by just making sure your trajectory is above the planet. And then with heavy loads, you kind of want to come in really shallow, just so you can have your hovers pick you up, you don't slam into the ground. And again, I'm 2,370 tons, so I definitely want to come in nice and shallow and smooth. So there's a effective landing with a fairly heavy ship. Alright, so I flew back up to space. We're going to do the tail sit. We have the same load, 2,300 tons. I lost a couple tons from the fuel, but that's alright. Pretty much the same weight as you can see right there. And we are going to tail sit this to come into the atmosphere. Again, this is not very fuel efficient, but it is a method. It's fun sometimes, and you can build a ship specifically for it if you wanted to. Alright, so here we go. Essentially, you just want to come over your target and slow yourself down. I would still come in horizontally to where my trajectory goes past the planet, just in case I'm too fast. But then I would just stop above the target and start falling down. So once you're lined up with your target, about close enough. I don't want to land on my target since that's the factory, so I don't want to hit that. So our target's pretty much close enough, so we're going to flip around backwards and just get ready for the tail sit. Our brakes are going to do most of the work, and then our engines are just going to obviously slow us down enough to where we can land. They're going to make up for what our brakes can't handle, essentially. Now I like to come in at around 1,000 kilometers an hour, just so my speed is efficient. That's, for most ships, that's around where you start to burn up much faster than that. Now, something the other tutorial did not show you is cruise control. You definitely want to come in tail sitting with cruise control. You use Alt-R to switch over to cruise control, and you can set negative speeds with cruise control, and that's going to allow you to fall at a set speed. So you can see here I'm slowing down how fast I want to fall, and it's using the brakes and the engines however it needs to maintain that speed. So I'm going to keep raising my speed as I get closer to the ground, so it slows me down gradually. So the cruise control is managing the brakes and the thrust and everything automatically to maintain the speed that I set. Now your ship, of course, has to have the capability to do this, so it has to have enough thrust to be able to slow itself. And as long as you have typically above, I would say 2 Gs of thrust, you will be able to do a tail sit efficiently. So we're just going to come down slowly, just keep slowing my speed. I'm going to keep it at about 100 for a little bit. I'll probably slow down a bit too much too soon, but just because of this weight, you know, I wanted to make sure I would be able to stop. If I was empty, I would have done it much faster. And as you can see, looking at the fuel, this is not fuel efficient at all. I mean, I'm burning pretty quickly, and I actually think I'm going to run out of fuel before I hit the ground. But I think I'm close enough to where it's not going to be a big deal. We'll see. So there's another lesson. Make sure you have enough fuel to tail sit. Yep. That's okay. Not too bad. I was close enough. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have the fuel for a tail sit. So there's an example of tail sitting 2,350 tons. Alright, stick around for my further tutorials. I'll show, again, more on building ships and calculating lift and things like that. As you can see, what I've used here is my new prototype design of a ship. I'm still kind of working on it, but I will show some of this in the next video. And any questions, go ahead and hit the comments below or join our Discord, which I also have listed in the description. Alright, see you guys next time.